Event 2 is a chipper. Athletes will start standing at their barbell. Male with female pairs may choose which barbell to lift. Teams will complete 60 synchronized hang snatches in male with female pairs. Athletes must be locked out overhead with knees, hips, and arms fully extended at the same time for synchronization and the rep to count. The male with female pairs may switch at the bar whenever they would like and switch up their partner, but there must always be a male and female working at the same time. For example, the females can switch out which woman is working on the bar at the time, while the same male is completing all of the reps on the bar, or vice versa. All 60 reps must be completed before the athletes can travel to the other side of the field to complete the next set of reps. In order for the athletes to travel to the other side of the field, the RX athletes must handstand walk 20 feet, or the modified athletes must bear crawl 20 feet. The team must wait until the handstand walk is completed before they start the next movement. The handstand walk will count a rep every 5 feet. If an athlete falls during the walk, they will be returned to the start of the 5-foot segment in which they fell. Teams may also have multiple athletes complete different 5-foot sections. Once the handstand walk is completed, teams will complete 60 ring dips, one athlete working at a time. Each athlete can complete as many ring dips as they would like before they move to the next athlete. Athletes can switch in and out of doing ring dips as many times as they would like until the ring dips are complete. Athletes must start with arms locked out at the top of the dip. Armpits must break the plane even with top of the ring at the bottom of the dip. Arms must return to full lockout at the top of the dip for the repetition to be counted. Kipping is permitted, and teams may set the ring height prior to the start of their heat. In place of the ring dips, scaled teams will complete 60 single dumbbell strict presses. When the reps are completed, the athletes will then make their way back down the field to their next event. They will follow the same rules with the handstand walk or the bear crawl as previously stated. The next movement to complete will be 60 synchronized box jumps. The box jumps will be completed by the team working in male with female pairs. Athletes must stand on top of the box with hips fully extended at the same time for the repetition to count. Athletes must also be on the ground at the same time before the next repetition may begin. Both athletes must step down from their box. The scaled teams may step up or jump up onto their box. One athlete may jump while the other partner steps, as long as the same standards apply. Once all the reps are completed, the athletes will make their way back down the field. 60 handstand push-ups will be completed by the team, one athlete working at a time. Hands must remain in the box outline on the floor, while fingers may be allowed to cross over the box outline. The handstand push-up must start with the athlete fully locked out, knees, hips, and arms fully extended with heels on the wall. The athlete's head must touch the ab mat at the bottom of the handstand push-up and press back out into a fully extended position, ending with heels on the wall. The scaled teams will be completing 60 hand release push-ups to a plate. Once those reps are completed, the athletes will then make their way back down the field, following the same rules for their handstand walks. Next, the athletes will be completing 60 synchronized thrusters. These thrusters will be completed in male with female pairs. Synchronization and a good repetition will be counted at the top of the repetition with knees, hips, and arms at full extension with the bar above the midline. Hips must travel below the knees in the squat portion of the thruster for a good repetition, and a squat clean may be used to get into the first thruster of each set. Once all 60 thrusters are completed, the athletes will then travel back down the field in order to start their next movement. The athletes will then begin their 60 alternating pistol squats. The pistol squats will be completed by the team with one athlete working at a time. The pistols must be completed with the foot you are standing on inside the box throughout the entire repetition. An athlete must complete at least one pistol squat on each leg when they are working in the box. The foot that starts off the ground must not come into contact with the ground during the squat, and the hips must break the plane of the knee at the bottom of the squat. Full knee and hip extension must be reached before the foot touches the ground for the repetition to count. Scaled teams will be completing 60 dumbbell goblet squats. When those reps are completed, the athletes will then make their way back down the field to their last movement. The athletes will then complete 60 synchronized bar-facing burpees. The athletes will complete these burpees using one bar in male with female pairs. The athletes will be considered synchronized with their thighs and chests on the floor at the same time. They will start on opposite sides of the bar from each other, and the athletes must do a 2-foot takeoff when they jump over the bar. The repetition will be counted when both athletes have both feet on the ground on opposite sides of the bar. The WOD is completed when these burpees are finished or when the team gets time capped. The modified athletes will complete a bear crawl rather than the handstand walk throughout the workout. Throughout the bear crawl, the athlete's hips must remain higher than their shoulders, with both hands and feet crossing the last line before the bear crawl is considered completed. The scale teams will complete single dumbbell strict presses in place of the ring dips. The dumbbell will be held with the dumbbell head in each hand, parallel to the ground. The center of the dumbbell must start below the chin. A repetition is completed when the dumbbell is over midline with the arms locked out overhead. The athlete completing the repetitions must be standing in the taped-off box on the floor. Only one athlete may be in the box at a time. Scaled teams will be completing hand-released push-ups to a plate in place of the handstand push-ups. The plate will remain in the designated box on the field portion of the lane. One athlete will work at a time. The push-up will start with the athlete prone on the floor. Tap both hands on the plate at the same time, then push themselves into a high plank position. The repetition will be counted when the elbows are locked out and the body is in a high plank position. Teammates may be ready on the ground as another teammate works. Scaled teams will complete dumbbell goblet squats in place of the alternating pistol squats. The dumbbell can be held however the athlete likes, but the dumbbell must be gripped with the weight close to the body and the hands between the chest and the chin.